Modern Warfare's Warzone has some surprising twists on the Battle Royale formula. In this quick guide, we've got a few essential tips that you need to know to help you survive and even emerge victorious from the Warzone. Down but not out, aka don't give up, buddy. As obvious as this tip may seem, Warzone takes a slightly different approach to the loop of running, gunning, and quitting to join another game when you get picked off by a player hiding behind a tree or a door like an absolute coward. Every Battle Royale game is about staying alive as long as you can, obviously, but avoiding death in Warzone might be more critical than in most other Battle Royales. Between the gulag system and the ample buy stations scattered around the map, there are a lot of chances for your squad to get back into full fighting strength, and even make a big comeback. In most other squad-focused Battle Royale games, losing a teammate might result in fear and aimlessness. But in Warzone, you've got a decent shot at reviving them, provided you have the cash and can make it to the right spot. So, stay focused and stay calm. Even when the odds are against you, you might be down, but you're not always out.
I just can't fucking compete!
Use that ping, baby. If you've played Apex Legends or Fortnite, you'll know how essential the ping system is. It allows you to easily mark a spot in your field of vision, highlight a weapon, and of course, enemies in the distance.
Contact. Contact.
Warzone has a robust ping system that also helps you easily communicate with your teammates, even if you're not using voice chat to talk with them. The ping system contextually marks items you focus on, and double tapping it allows you to indicate active hot zones and locations where some action is about to go down.
I got movement.
Even if you're talking with your teammates or playing with friends, get used to using the ping system extensively. It helps with maintaining situational awareness.
Vendor here. Get your supplies.
I could use it.
Remember, mount your weapons. As mentioned in the tutorial, one thing you should get used to and even make a habit of is mounting your guns. This involves using an object nearby to steady your weapon, which in turn reduces the amount of recoil you have to compensate for when firing. Understandably, this can be easy to forget in the middle of combat. While there are certainly times where it's better to maintain your mobility, the ability to fire accurately can mean the difference between life and death, win or loss. Try to make use of this early and as often as you can when playing Warzone, so that you can build the muscle memory, rather than allowing the ability to become an afterthought. Always pick up bounty and scavenge contracts. Contracts are a side objective you and your squad can pick up in the field to earn some extra cash and resources. They're a fun wrinkle to Warzone's take on Battle Royale, but it's essential you don't allow them to become a distraction. You don't want to find yourself trying to complete one and suddenly notice you're choking on poison gas because the ring has closed in on you. That said, there are undeniable benefits to picking up contracts that should not be ignored. Scavenger contracts will reward you for opening a series of supply boxes, but even if you don't have the opportunity to collect all three of them, picking up the contract will still direct you to a cache containing money and loot. So, if you're light on cash or gear, a scavenger contract will guide you right to where you need to go. Similarly, a bounty contract will alert you to the general location of a foe you need to hunt down. Find that poor soul and take them out successfully, and you'll be handsomely rewarded. But even if you have no intention of completing the contract, say because you're low on armor or ammo, still having the general location of an enemy, or potentially an enemy squad, is good intel, because it lets you avoid combat too. Enjoy your stay in the gulag. Modern Warfare's most significant addition to the Battle Royale framework is the gulag, a prison you're dragged to after being taken out on the main island. Your first instinct upon getting rolled by another team might be to quit the game, but if you stick with it, you may just get another shot at rejoining your squad in the same match. After a few moments in prison, you'll get matched up with another player for a one-on-one gunfight match, where you're given a random loadout of weapons and thrown into a fight in the prison showers. Other players in the rafters can watch on, and they can even pelt you with rocks. The winner of the fight will get to enjoy a nice hot shower and will be redeployed back onto the current match. Actually, the shower bit isn't true, but you will get put back on the island. Stinky. Essentially, the gulag gives you an automatic second chance at redemption, provided you've got the skills and cunning to survive the prison's trials. As mentioned previously, if your teammates earn enough cash in-game, either by completing bounties or by scavenging through buildings, they can purchase a second chance at life for you at a buy station. Your redeployment will take place near where your team spend their money, which means they'll have to wait for you to land and you'll arrive in a weakened state. Still, you're back with your buddies and that's what matters. Go for the loadouts. If you're not reviving your squad and have some cash to spare, you'll want to try and purchase a loadout pack whenever you can. Buying a loadout drop allows you to call down your personal, customized loadout from the rest of the Modern Warfare standard multiplayer modes. If you've put in the time and unlocked guns with attachments, it means you can bring in the kit you're used to and confident with into Warzone, effectively removing the need to run around scooping up loot and making yourself vulnerable to enemies hiding behind trees or doors like absolute cowards. The real benefit of getting your custom loadout in Warzone is the perks. Warzone players don't start with multiplayer perks in a match, but if you can get your loadout into the game, you'll also get its perks. That means, along with your preferred guns, you could end up by increasing your revive speed or making you sprint faster, if you've got that set up that is. Not every perk is handy, so it pays to build a Warzone specific loadout and have it ready to go. Amping up your speed or making kill streaks cheaper to purchase in Warzone can give you a big advantage in battle, so it's worth considering those. When a loadout drops onto a map, it's visible to everyone, which means you could go after another player's package, and usually the risk is worth the reward, especially if you've gotten a poor gear set from just picking up what's around. Keep track of those redeployment flares. Between the gulag and purchasing redeployments, a lot of players can rejoin Warzone matches, even though they've been eliminated. But to make sure your teammates' second and third chances aren't in vain, you'll need to keep an eye out for their signal flares, which shoot way up into the sky and glow brightly. Flares often launch from the buy stations where a squad can bring their teammate into the game. A player is dropping back into the game with next to nothing on that spot, and a short-handed squad is probably waiting nearby for their teammate to return. As you can guess, these signal flares will be visible to all players, so it's up to you to figure out the best time to use them, as aggressive players can use flares as a guide to help get them drop on weak teammates and knock them out of the game. On the other hand, if you want to be cautious, flares are a good indication of where not to go, since you know players will be waiting nearby, and the flare could draw other teams looking for an opportunistic attack. Either way, flares can give you a lot of information, so keep an eye out for them. Be smart with your cash. While out in the field and taking on different contracts, you'll be able to collect cash for your soldier. This currency can purchase new equipment from the many shops scattered around the map. These shops include rare and epic level support items and weapons, which can come in clutch during a fight. With that all said, you're much better off saving up your currency for when you feel you'll need it the most. Along with purchasing items, cash can be invested in redeploying down squad mates. What's interesting about the redeploy option is that it can still revive players who have fallen in battle after escaping the gulag, giving them yet another chance at fighting in the current battle. Since every member of the squad has their own pool of cash, you'll want to make sure that you have enough money in your reserves in case a squad mate suffers an untimely fate. Be a team player and share the wealth. Making sure you're as well equipped as you can be is a key part of any battle royale game, but since Warzone is about squads of 3, you'll also want your teammates to be in the best shape they can be. Each player in Warzone gathers cash separately, so when you're thinking about potentially hitting a buy station, it's usually best to pool your squad's resources together. Collecting money can be somewhat slow for a single person, but a whole team can combine their funds pretty quickly, and between 2 or 3 of you, you'll often find that you can afford things like loadouts or squad redeployments without too much effort. This also extends to gear and other items on the field. One big thing to keep an eye on is armor, which can be the deciding factor in a gunfight. You can equip 3 pieces of armor on yourself at any given time, but you can carry up to 5 pieces. Having a couple of spare pieces of armor can help you if you get into trouble, but if your teammates are low, the better plan might be to share them. You can quickly pull up your inventory with down on the D-pad, then highlight an item and drop it for a teammate. That includes armor pieces, which can help bring your squad up to full strength quickly. There you have it, a few tips to help you survive the brutal Warzone. Keep them in mind when dropping onto the island, and they might help you get that coveted win. If you've got a few tips of your own, share them in the comments below, and for more coverage of Call of Duty Modern Warfare's Warzone mode, keep an eye on